Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, until next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. The only option left. Chapter 17. Epilogue. Oh, mass! Chloe purred, a little louder than a whisper, yet soft enough not to awake the slumbering teenage daughter. She quickly wiggled her eyebrows up and down with an amber smirk tightening the muscles in her face. She's asleep! You wanna... Of course I do, babe! The brunette angrily replied, cutting her wife off in mid-sentence. I've been thinking about this all day! The taller of the two had just returned to the love seat from down the hall, while she peeked inside Jess's room to ensure the girl wouldn't be able to hear what they were planning on doing. The married couple knew the daughter was still super tired after merging the multiverse and going to dinner, and they found themselves with the perfect opportunity to try out the new toy. Jess was fast asleep in her bed, all cozy and tucked in, with her cheeks and bedspread continually snuggled on top of her body. A reality bonding once-in-a-lifetime event such as the one the Caulfield Prices recently experienced might have broken anyone else. Unfortunately, a very wise version of the oldest of the three prevented a terrible outcome by anticipating the mental problems that could have potentially occurred. Because of the moisture inside of Corey, an unaccountable number of science fiction and solitary farts, including that of the wheelchair-bound mastermind, flourished in her mind. Most could never be specifically recalled, but all added an ingredient to her mix. Likewise, Mass experienced a similar result, with enhanced and expanded intellectual thought. The lovers put their brains together and secretly worked for over a year on a computerized mechanism with virtual reality-like properties that connected unseen witnesses from the former multiverse. With the laser-driven quantum cooling molecule that was available to them in another reality, they had to settle for a liquid cooling setup with optic micro palms, humps, and valves, all rooted to a computerized apparatus. They didn't have access to the higher tech they once did, but they made use of the items and materials they could collect from local stores and shops, and from other various online sources. The previous day, they made a breakthrough, fitting a headset and controller to the contraption. It would allow its user to mentally connect herself and be whisked to a fully immersed environment. They were tired and, according to Corey's calculations, Jess would be returning shortly. So, they left the work to be completed for another time. Their curiosity and abundance of free time drew them back to work on the project just one day later. Corey lovingly pulled Mass in towards herself and wrapped her arms around her favorite person. You ready to see if this shit plays off, love? The taller girl, horrible woman craned downward and pecked her waist on the lips, then quickly withdrew. When Mass pushed forward to recapitulate, her partner inched her head backwards with cheesy grin on her face. However, the magnetic energy between the couple wouldn't allow them to be apart for long. Generously placing both palms on either cheeks, the shorter one pulled Chloe's face towards her own. This time, the bond didn't resist. The deep connection wouldn't be denied, forcing the current months together. Ending with a triangle of lips and a lengthy sailing of realized love and completeness. Okay, love, Chloe begged, forcing herself to push away. If we don't quick now, you know where this will end. I won't be able to stop myself from attacking you, you sassy bitch. Sounds like a really good thing to me, babe. Max forced their bodies back together, sliding both hands down her soulmate's back until they landed as low as they could go, with cup handfuls of her best friend. Damn, Mousy Max, you know it's hard for me to resist you when you gulp me like that. As he stepped back, forcing the pair apart, she heard an audibly displeased grunt come from the slightly frustrated woman in front of her. Fine, not tough. Let's do this. But when we finish, your ass is mine. I can't wait, love. Another crisp kiss was followed by an interlocking of fingers and a tender hug. The lovebirds broke the embrace and left the living room, heading for the garage in the connected storage room that previously went unused. Unknown to the daughter, the space had been redesigned and converted to a small lab where Master Chloe worked through experiments and tests so their minds could continuously stay occupied with higher level thoughts. Since the merger, which took place 16 years ago to Jess's mom's, the only negative consequences they seemed to experience was an increase in brain activity. This heightened awareness was like having an endless thirst for more knowledge that could never be fully quelled. Neither considered it to be a bad thing or a hindrance, and both continued to love each other more and more every day. A little over a year ago, and almost by accident, the woman discovered a unique trait within specific subatomic particles that abstractly reflected properties consistent with celestial dark matter from the one-shattered multiverse. Chloe had an idea to sift these particles and collect the pieces to examine and evaluate. And Max analyzed the post-trace data. It was clear they had discovered a potential means to view Filmora multiverse realities, where previously undetected leftover particles still existed. One of they could artificially recreate the previous existences. The curious couple went to work. What resulted was a supercomputer that they completely finished building 1 evening prior. You know, Max, Chloe begun. In another reality, I had an AI named Molly. I really wish she could be here to run salvation test before we do this. Babe, Max responded. I very much remember Molly. She would definitely be a huge help at a time like this. Let's remember. Yeah. We're Max and Chloe. There's nothing we can't do together. And we don't really need her anymore. I get that. It would just be nice to feel more sure about this. After all we've been through, if something bad happens now, it would be pretty fucking shitty. That's all. We don't need any more bad fucking things happening in our lives. Have confidence, my dear. Max giggled, both hands over her tiny mouth in an attempt to muffle her laughter. I used to be the heroine's one, and you were always pushing me to not worry so much. Look at us now. Ha! They knew Des wouldn't have any real issues with what they were attempting to do, but she seemed to be glad they weren't melding with space and time anymore. It was important to show the daughter that people with powers can live normal lives. They never lied to her about it. It just convictly never came up. There were plenty of other adventures they'd been on while Des was younger that they didn't sail with her for the same reason. If the machine doesn't wake her up, your laughing won't either. You'll wait though, love. We just fire it up and take a peek like we talked about yesterday. Plus, I'm Chloe fucking Caulfield Price. I'm still a badass. She raised two arms up in the victory pose. Keep telling yourself that, babe. The smaller the two teeth. Damn, you're so sexy when you're all, I'm a badass and whatnot. Matt's shoulder bumped her playfully parted life, then tiptoe and place her lips on the woman's cheek. Love you, Crow. Chloe shrugged and rolled her eyes. Love you too, Mass. Meanie Massini. It wasn't uncommon for the pair to cheese one another, spending countless hours just being around each other, joking and laughing. Speaking of sexy, your confidence is a damn turn on. Maybe you're right. We can wait on this. Perhaps we can. You know, head to bed and tear each other's clothes off. Maybe. Oh! Or a shower. Please? As much as I enjoy that, we need to focus for a little bit longer. Then we can attack each other later. Deal? The figure woman stretched out her arm, waiting for her partner to confirm the agreement with his handshake. She had an overly cute and heartfelt grin on her face that made it even more difficult for Chloe to resist her primal urges. And she knew it. Deal. They shook hands like two businesswomen who barely knew the other, keeping up the act as if they hadn't seen each other naked so many times they would never be able to count the instances. Inside the lab, Mass ensured the door was pulled tightly and latched, both to reduce noise and to maintain as serene of an environment as possible. The couple gathered beside the machine, nodded at one another with unfathomable assuredness. Then Mass picked up the headset and slid it down over her eyes. Mass, remember, it probably seemed like you're in there for a long damn time, but only a few minutes will pass here. Sort of Matrix Neo style. She chuckled briefly, tracing a smile and very noticeable cue from her partner's lips. Before I fit the stress, remind me again why you have to be the one to go in first? I fucking hate you for being the one taking a risk here. You know much more about the machine than I do. If something goes wrong out there, you can troubleshoot and fix it. Mass finally adjusted the strap on the back end of the headset so it would more snugly fit to her face and head. Chloe reached over and gently tucked several strands of loose hair behind the love of her life's ears, successfully grazing the sensitive areas on the side of her neck. Not being able to resist herself, she leaned in and planted a deep kiss on her wife's lips. The tones played a secret game of tag, where no matter the outcome, both would be winners. Max could only see black with the headset on, but she didn't need her sight to feel the cascading waves of pure love pulsating between them. Chloe pulled away and helped her wife to sit in the cushioned desk chair they selected. Then she walked a few steps to the other side of the machine. You're right, but it should be me taking the risk, damn it. If you're not out in 5 minutes, I'll pull you back. Anytime you want out, just reach up and remove the headset. Easy peasy. You should be able to feel it in there. Yeah, I got it, Crow. I'm ready. She held the control with both hands on her lap and shifted her body so her back was straightened. Love you, babe. Love you too, Massey. On the count of 3, I flipped the switch. That sound good? Yep. 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 7/8. Crow, please. The woman in the headset giggled. The plug switch was forming gaps between the bones pointer finger and thumb. 3! For flipping it on, the machine hissed and scraped, then began grabbing as the pistols increased with speed. Chloe watched the generator like contraction vibrate, followed by a releasing of trap steam. She knew that meant the heat sense component has kicked on and was working as intended. It was probably one of the pieces she worried the most about. Without realizing it, she'd been holding her breath as she watched, hoping all would go smoothly and according to plan. She returned the warm air from her lungs and looked at the digital clock on the wooden desk in the corner of the room. All right, Chloe, she spoke to herself. No more than 5 minutes, then you get her ass out of there. As time ticked by, her eyes never moved from her perfect person except for periodical grazes at the sinisterly slow-moving clock. Master's body monstrosity trembled creatively, but it wasn't unexpected. Her consciousness would be experiencing several hours, if not days, during her time hooked to the machine. Finally, about 30 seconds prior to the 5-minute deadline, Master's hands reached up and pushed the headset away from her eyes. She blinked several times and turned in close to Weston's with a goofy grin, tightening the muscles on her cheeks. Wowzer, how long was I gone? Super glad you're back, Supermass! And Bond flipped the switch to the opposition and quickly walked behind her wife, wrapping her arms around the woman's pregnant frame and squeezing tightly. A little over 4 minutes, I think. She softly spoke with her head down, near with Master's heels. Much longer, and I was gonna yank you out. That universe was nuts, so. I mean, we've seen and experienced some crazy shit, but damn, this one might take the cake in some ways. Tell me, Mass, please. Chloe wheeled a second chair beside her wife and held both of her hands in her own. We'll see them on the brunette's lap. Yeah, well, we existed as video game characters. They got most of our story right. It was wild, at least up to the point of the storm. They even had a sort of pre-show about you and Rachel. I know a good bit of that one was off in spots, like Lawrence and Victoria's ages were incorrect. You told me you already had a flake of blue in your hair prior to meeting Rachel. But the ending summit made it seem like you hadn't covered it until later. Also, they made it seem like I ghosted you when we both never reached out after William passed. I was a little pissed about that part. Whoa, that's fucking bizarre, love. Yeah, tell me about it. Felt like I was in there for weeks, but I realized it was still just a simulation because I never had to use the restroom, and I never felt hungry or tired. I knew you would pull me out if I was in there too long, so I just kept exploring. Did you at least make sure I was hot as shit, you know? Like I am in real life? Chloe stood to her feet in a sort of model's pose, smirking, then stepped behind her still-seated partner. She placed her palms on the woman's shoulders and began massaging in a circular motion. That feels good, babe. So, was I hot or not? Is this impossible? Important sit, Master. Both women still they laughed like they were still little girls playing pipes in the backyard. Hells yeah! I mean, the developers spent time hand painting the scenes and the weird rain could use a bit of work. We seem like robots in sparks. But yeah, you were absolutely stunning in the games. That's not even all of it either. Oh, there's more? Yeah! There's an entire fandom that spawned because of the game. They created fan art, fan fiction, and even like, well, some pretty NSSW stuff with us. Super damn weird. Ooh ya la. Maybe I should get in there next time. Corey joke. Sounds hard as fuck. Anyway, I took my time playing the games, checking out some of the artwork, and we used dozens or so fan fictions. Since the main game ends after the first storm week, there are so many headcanons around the fandom about what happened to us. Nobody has gotten even close to the weight yet. Made me want to wait like a true story version just to get the record straight. Corey considered. What were some of the stories you read? What do people think happened to us after the city week? A ton of them were more alternate universe stuff, where they had us as vampire hunters, afro pirates, and coffee shop owners. I read one where Danielle Prescott was like the mother of O'Leal and captured us to use me and the rewind in some sort of Illuminati like fuck up plan. There was some really city parts, but in the end, we were happy together and I got to have badass superhero powers, so it wasn't too horrible. Mass placed her palms back and beside her neck, draping them on top of her wife's hands, tenderly stopping the massage. The good news is the machine works. I felt like I had a bird's eye view and could sort of zoom in where I wanted. That makes sense. It was pretty damn amazing, babe. You must be wanting a story to set the record straight. What if we really could? I mean, we could just drop everything and whip each other's clothes off right here, right now. Soon, babe. The headstrong brunette responded. Let's finish this first. I'm telling you, when I was inside, I couldn't erect things, but it felt, I don't know, sort of temporary. Like my existence was inconsequential to anything that happened there. Plus, we only looking at the leftover fragments of the multiverse. It doesn't really exist apart from Prime anymore, right? The multiverse was merged into our reality, and we started from what we broke, yeah? Yeah, I think that's correct. But these small fragments existing away from the whole might mean there are still living consciousnesses, not actually knowing their worlds were essentially merged back into ours. Or, rather, unresearched sorts of realities. Does that make sense, love? Yeah, it does. I guess. Ma stretched her head and spun her chair around to face her wife. Well, what I'm saying is the video games, fan art, and fanfiction are all probably still being played and made. If that's so, I think we could implant a story within that specific realm to tell our truth. Then anybody wearing it would know exactly what happened. Not that it truly matters or whatever, but it might be fun to write our memoirs, you know? Go back through the events in our minds and write that shit down. Corey walked over and received the MacBook that was plugged into the wall behind the desk. She brought it back and cleared a space in front of the couple on the countertop, where the machine rested. Small curves on the seam still tickling from the top and sides. That does sound fun, Quill. I'm getting sort of excited. A twisty smile stretched across the shorter girl's face, which caused a second wonder to develop on her partners. Chloe began first, typing at the top of the new page. By Mass and Chloe Caulfield Price, the real bad bitches. Cool! We can't call ourselves Mass and Chloe. Don't you think that would seem weird among all the other writers? They don't even know we exist except in that strange video game. We need to come up with a good visualism so we don't look like total assholes. Oh, I got it! Chloe's voice shot up in an swell of like it did when she was excited about something. Check this out! She began typing and was clearly proud of herself, indicated by how rapidly she banged each key. By Chloe in the whale mass. Babe, that's basically the same as before. No, here, look now. We get rid of all the characters that aren't capitalized. By Chloe in the whale mass. She began backspacing and lining up the letters. When she was finished, she had the final name set by Klotz. Nobody would ever know, Massy Mass. What do you think? What's good? But what about a title? Well, this is the only real story in the bunch, so maybe the only? We can make it a series if we decide to keep going with it. Maybe start with the only way now? Yeah, that's not bad. I got an idea, babe. The main game was set from my perspective. So would you mind if I start writing first? We can switch off and change perspectives throughout the story. Fuck effing A, dude! Let's get started then. I got the perfect summary for beginning here. After the singer's week of her life, Mass Caulfield was faced with an unfair and difficult decision. Neither choice was ideal. In fact, the choices fucking sucked. Either way meant the deaths of loved ones. And in reality where rewind is possible, some way, somehow, she chose both. Mass nodded in approval, then turned the laptop so it was directly in front of her. She placed both hands on the keyboard and closed her eyes for a moment, reopening them with an deeply focused concentration. Here we go. She took a deep, airy breath, then released the air from her lungs. Beginning to type, the younger half of the perfect pill allowed her fingers to freely and honestly dance across the keyboard. The Only Way Now, by Klotz. Mass was given a power to go back and correct mistakes. A rewind power, she called it. Early on, she tested it by not only fixing things for the better, but by making herself seem smarter, cooler, and more popular. It made her sick to her stomach thinking about that time. She felt naive and annoying to be so careless. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA 2000 again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, you know, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!